Welcome back to Cinema Nights, the place where we break down the greatest films ever made. And today we're talking about one of South Africa's most powerful and internationally acclaimed films, Tsotsi. This isn't just a crime drama. Tsotsi is a brutal yet deeply human story about redemption, identity, and the scars of apartheid-era South Africa. It's raw, it's heartbreaking. And today we're going deep into its themes, symbolism, cinematography, and characters. Buckle up. The film drops us right into the harsh, unforgiving world of Johannesburg's townships. Tsotsi, which literally means thug in township slang, follows a young gang leader who's lost in a cycle of violence. His moral compass? Non-existent, until one moment changes everything. When Tsotsi carjacks a wealthy woman and unknowingly takes her baby, the story shifts from a crime thriller to an emotional exploration of guilt, humanity, and second chances. Through this stolen child, Tsotsi is forced to confront his own past, his trauma, and ultimately, his humanity. The baby isn't just a plot device, it's symbolic. It represents innocence, hope, and the last shred of decency Tsotsi has left. Throughout the film, we see him evolve from a hardened criminal to someone who starts caring, feeding, and protecting this baby at all costs. The stark contrast between the affluent suburbs and the impoverished townships is intentional. It highlights South Africa's lingering inequalities, how privilege and poverty exist side by side, yet feel worlds apart. Tsotsi's desperation stems from a society that has abandoned him, and his crime spree is a direct rebellion against the system that left him behind. At first, Tsotsi is a terrifying figure, cold, violent, and unpredictable. But as the film unfolds, we see the cracks in his tough exterior. He's not just a villain. He's a broken young man shaped by a traumatic past. Through subtle expressions and body language, Presley Chweneyagae delivers a masterclass in silent storytelling. His transformation isn't preachy, it's organic, messy, and real. Boston is the conscience, the one gang member who actually feels something. He's the moral compass of the group, constantly questioning their actions. His brutal beating at the hands of Tsotsi is a pivotal moment, showing just how emotionally disconnected Tsotsi has become. Miriam, the mother figure, a single mother living in poverty. Miriam is forced to breastfeed the stolen baby when Tsotsi holds her at gunpoint. But instead of just being a helpless victim, she plays a crucial role in Tsotsi's redemption. Her kindness and quiet strength challenge his worldview, making her one of the most important figures in his transformation. John and Pamela Dube, the victims and the upper class. The wealthy couple Tsotsi robs represents the privilege and stability he never had. But unlike typical crime films, they aren't one-dimensional. Pamela, despite being a victim, still fights back. John, the father, isn't just mourning his stolen child. He's actively searching, showing that even wealth doesn't protect you from suffering. The film uses warm, earthy tones in the townships, dirty yellows, deep oranges, and dark browns, to emphasize poverty and struggle. In contrast, the rich suburbs are bathed in cold blues and harsh whites, making them feel distant and almost sterile. Director Gavin uses close-ups, and for good reason. Tsotsi doesn't talk much, so his emotions are conveyed through subtle eye movements, clenched jaws, and hesitations. Every frame tells a story without the need for words. One of the most underrated symbolic moments? When Tsotsi, after trying to care for the baby, wears a clean white shirt instead of his usual dark, ragged clothes. It's a subtle visual cue that he's attempting to leave his old life behind, even if he doesn't fully realize it yet. Tsotsi isn't just a film, it's an experience. It forces us to question the line between good and evil, between criminality and survival. It's a film about pain, redemption, and the choices that define us. Almost 2 decades later, it still holds up as one of the greatest South African films of all time. If you haven't watched it, fix that now. And if you have, watch it again. I promise you'll notice something new. But now I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Tsotsi? Do you think Tsotsi truly redeemed himself? And what other South African films deserve a deep dive? Hit the comments and let's keep the conversation going. If you're new here, subscribe to Cinema Nights. We break down films like this all the time. whether they're classics, underrated gems, or just straight-up wild movies. Because here at Cinema Nights, we don't just watch movies, we live them.